Welcome back to Randy Billy Garage. We have a very special episode in store for today. I promised you guys build bios, and that's what I'm here to give you. And to kick things off, we're going to be diving into my 2011 Charger RT. So I've had this car for about 4 years. It is my daily driver, my show car, my race car. It's everything. So pretty much the theme for this car is a modernized, old school, NASCAR style track car. Alright, so obviously aftermarket hood from AmeriHood. You got your ram air, which feeds air right into the intake, which is over on that side. I've added some cooling vents to keep those engine temps cool. Decal. This is more of like old school NASCAR style cubic inch decal on the hood, but in gloss black to counterset the matte black, so it gives it kind of that contrast, but subtle. Moving over to the front, we've got some aero canards, kind of keep that front end planted. We do not have a lip splitter, but that's why I've got these instead to kind of offset the downforce in the back, and it does help. Got a custom grille here. This is fiberglass. We cut out the crosshair just to kind of give it that deep dish look. And if you look at this right here, I don't have fog lights, but I do have a fog light hole on one side. That is because the intake is on this side, so this is an extra hole to suck more air in. We got some aftermarket headlights that make it look more like the modern Charger. And then I've got my classic C-stripe. This is one of the first things that I did to this car. I've always loved the retro script Charger, and then this C-stripe accents the body line. So that was one of the very first things I did to this. I absolutely love that. And it's just kind of like a staple of this car. And now, the obvious. Daytona wing. This is made out of fiberglass. It's cast off an original Superbird wing, and I shortened it about 5 inches. I cut it here and dropped it down and re-glassed it back into place. So it's more in line with the roof line. This is adjustable, so we could adjust it if we wanted to add a little more downforce. The Hoonigan sticker up top. And a cool little thing not a lot of people know, if you look underneath the wing on the bottom of the blade, there's signatures of my automotive icons growing up. And then moving on, we got a custom taillight. So this is actually the stock taillight. This is rough, it's just a prototype. I've got another one that I'm actually working on, and it's gonna be a lot better, so it won't be cracked and everything. This is just to see if I could actually do what I want it to do. I put it under a heat lamp and basically peeled the red plastic off of it and worked it, glued the outside piece back together, and then spray painted it black, and now it kind of looks like it's running light. So I like the look of it, but this one is rough. The next one will be much better. It's a work in progress. And then moving on. Functional rear diffuser. This goes from the differential back. If you look under here, you can actually see braces that are holding it up. These go to the bumper brace, so it is tied into the chassis. So this is a fully functional rear diffuser. Gives a little more downforce, helps in the corners. Move on to the interior. So basically, I just want this car to be a fun car, and this is the cockpit. So this is the part where you sit, and so you gotta be comfortable, you gotta like it. As you can see right there, aftermarket steering wheel. These are removable. I have an NRG hub, quick release hub. I do have several different steering wheels, so this is like my show wheel right now. I've got a race wheel, daily wheel, and then moving over, if you can see the shifter. So this is an aftermarket shifter from Kill Duff Machine. It's basically, it works just the same as the stock. It isn't automatic, but instead of the side-to-side motion that the stock shifter does, it puts it on a different stick, so it's more of like a sequential stick. So kind of a little more comfortable for me. I like that a lot better. You can see I got the Mopar Performance pedals.
I like the Never Lift sticker.
Yeah, it's embroidered into the wheel.
Oh, that's sick.
I've still got my cruise control buttons. It's just wired up differently. So if you take that off, this is still all connected. Anybody know what that does? Let's press it and find out. It's the horn button. Alright, if you see this right here, a lot of people ask me, what is this for? This is actually for my radio when I'm racing. So I put my radio in there, and then you plug it in right here. So that plugs into the side of it. And then if you look down here, there's a little connector that my push to talk button on my steering wheel will plug into. And then over on this side, right here, there's a connector for my helmet. So I can plug my helmet in and I can hear my spotter, I can hear my crew chief, whatever kind of racing I'm doing. If I need to talk to somebody in the pits or whatever, I can plug in a radio. And then we've got a bunch of red accents to offset the black and this gray. Alright, one more thing too. Aftermarket gauges. Right now we've got a boost vacuum gauge. We're not running any boost at the moment, but it is reading vacuum. Got my wideband gauge, which gives me my air to fuel ratio, and then the bottom is my volt gauge, so I can see what my battery volt's at. My struts are blown out, so we have to have a hood prop. But this is the business right here. This is where the fun begins. We have a 345 cubic inch, 5.7 liter Hemi. This is the engine that came in the car. However, we have a 392 cam out of a scat pack, plus the valve springs. All right, and then obviously see, it's really flashy in here. We got a bunch of red accents. Mustang cheers. These are my Mustang cheers because we eat Mustangs for breakfast. Got a strut brace to tie the struts together. Actually signed by Richard Petty himself. This is from Petty's Garage. And that is the King signature. Moving on, we've got a Holley EFI fuel rails, high flow fuel rails. Moving on, got a 85 millimeter throttle body from BBK, so it's bigger than the stock 80 millimeter. Paired that with a cold air intake from Mopar. And then obviously you can see that that intake is not stock. It is, but it isn't. It's a ported 5.7 intake that I have completely reworked. I've cut the flanges off, body worked it, painted it, made it look a little nicer than what the stock 5.7 intakes look. But it is ported, so it is getting more air in there. Got my catch can set up right here. These billet pieces are from American Brother Designs. They do really good work, and this is all in the Brembo red, so Tor red I think it is. On the bottom of the hood you can see the vents. So these are functional air vents that helps get the heat out. It's basically right above the headers, so that's perfect. It just pushes all that hot air out of there. And then here's that hole for the ram air on the hood, so that funnels that air from the hood right into the cold air intake. All right, the headers, we've got Corsa long tube headers paired with a Corsa catback exhaust. This thing sounds mean. I love the sound of this. Not too loud, but not too quiet, not obnoxious. It's real nice. Functional hood pins. These are actually rubber grommets, which I like these a lot better than like steel plates. Alright, and then next is we're gonna pull this thing on the lift, get underneath it, and check it out. All right, underneath. Take a look at the chassis and the suspension. So as you can see, first up, this is actually factory. It's a little aero tray that helps the air not get caught up on the oil pan. You can see right here, here's the exhaust and the headers that I was talking about. So these are Corsa headers and Corsa exhaust. Look over here, see this? This is a custom piece from Speed Logics. They make lightweight tubular chassis mounts. So this is the trans mount. That paired with, I've got lightweight bumper braces, front and rear. With all that together, it's about a weight savings of about 40 pounds. Moving on back. You see the Corsa X pipe. Makes this thing sound really good. We do have both mufflers and resonators. That's part of the Corsa system, but it sounds really good. And then this right here is new. Oh, that's hot. This is our 373 limited slip jet rag differential. So we took out the stock open diff, which was like a 260 something, and this is the new 373, which makes this thing pull so much harder. I love this. This is one of my favorite upgrades to this car. Absolutely blast. And then behind that, you can see where the diffuser starts. So this is the whole tray of the diffuser. Connects to the subframe and goes on back, and you can see the fins. And if you come around this side, take a look up in here, you can see the rod that I was talking about earlier. So there's the rods, and there is actually the lightweight bumper brace too, you can see in there. And then the nice polished tips, black polish tips from Corsa. Take a look at the suspension. Actually, before we look at the suspension, if you look back here, you can see there's something funny back here. This is actually a brace from AAD that allows me to put the Brembos on this. Because this is just the stock 5.7, they don't have the Brembos. Look, Billy coming in with the light. There you go. There's that bracket that holds the Brembo onto the hub. And you can see the Bilstein shocks. Alright, you can see these sway bar end links from B Woody Performance. Nice tubular end links from the sway bars. A lot better than the stock ones. They were pencils, basically. Stainless steel brake lines as well. And also beefier drive shafts that go with that upgraded diff. Okay. A little dirty under here because Randy lives on a dirt road.
Yeah, it's all my fault.
Alright, take a look at the front. In order to have the Brembos on the front, we needed the SRT spindles. We'll get a better look at that when we get the wheel off. But here you can see the front end links and the shock as well, really good up here. Alright, and now let's pull the wheel off and take a look at the brakes. Alright, and there are the brakes. We got Brembos off of an SRT8. It's the SRT8 spindle. Here you can see I'm running Ibach Performance lowering springs as well as their upper control arm. Alright, and then wheel and tire. So we've got Vox replica wheels, Demon replicas. They are 20 by 9s in the front and 10.5s in the rear. wrapped in Toyo Proxies ST3s. The fronts are 255 45 20s, and the rears are 295 40 20s. Fun fact, these are the same tires that they run on the Huna truck. Not same size, but same tread. ST3s. Alright guys, well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know, like and comment. Let me know what you want to see. If you want to see more of these, what kind of cars we want to see, let us know. Comment down below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.